You work mentally when you go on court every day and you don't complain when you play bad, when you have problems, when you have pains. You put the right attitude, the right face. You were not negative about all the issues that happened. If I am playing bad, if I have physical problems, you go on court every day with the passion to keep practicing. No, that's the mental work. No, that's something that I did during all my career. Not being frustrating when the things are not going well. Not being too negative, and that's why I was able to always have the chance to be back. You know, and here we are, important title, important moment, and now is the moment to keep going.
So I think that the message really for any young tennis player around the world who is watching this now and dreaming to be here where Toughness and I am, dream big, dare to dream, because everything is possible. Don't let anybody take away the dream. Doesn't matter where you're coming from. I actually think that the more disadvantaged childhood you have, the more difficulties and more challenges you have, the stronger you become. So Stefanos and I are the proof of that. And don't really let anybody take away that dream from you. Nurture it, water it like you water the flowers. Even if you find only one person in this world that will accept, embrace and support your dreams, find that person and dream big, because you can make it.
In tennis, perfection is impossible. In the 1,526 singles matches I played in my career, I won almost 80% of those matches. Now, I have a question for you. What percentage of points do you think I won in those matches? Only 54%. In other words, even top-ranked tennis players win barely more than half of the points they play. When you lose every second point on average, you learn not to dwell on every shot. You teach yourself to think, okay, I double faulted, it's only a point. Okay, I came to the net and I got passed again, it's only a point. Even a great shot, an overhead backhand smash that ends up on ESPN's top 10 playlist, that too is just a point. So here's why I'm telling you this. When you're playing a point, it has to be the most important thing in the world, and it is. But when it's behind you, it's behind you. This mindset is really crucial because it frees you to fully commit to the next point and the next point after that, with intensity, clarity, and focus. The truth is, whatever game you play in life, sometimes you're going to lose. A point, a match, a season, a job. It's a roller coaster with many ups and downs. And it's natural when you're down to doubt yourself and to feel sorry for yourself. And by the way, your opponents have self-doubt too. Don't ever forget that. But negative energy is wasted energy. You want to become a master at overcoming hard moments. That is, to me, the sign of a champion. The best in the world are not the best because they win every point. It's because they know they'll lose again and again and have learned how to deal with it. You accept it, cry it out if you need to, and then force a smile. You move on, be relentless, adapt and grow, work harder, work smarter. Remember, work smarter.
Where does that courage come from? How do you prepare or train yourself to have that courage and mental toughness in a fifth set after 4 hours? You talked about visualizing what would happen before the match.
Well, I can only speak on my own behalf. Obviously, we spoke about power of visualization and preparing yourself for possible scenarios, and I obviously try to play the match in my mind before I go on the court, and I probably could not play this kind of scenario, but I always try to imagine myself as a winner. I think there is a power to that, and but also there has to be, next to the willpower, strength that comes not just from your physical self, but from your mental and emotional self. And it's I think it's, well, for me at least, it's a constant battle within, you know, more than what happens outside. It's really not the situations that you experience that are affecting you, but how you internally experience those situations, how you accept them, how you live through them. So, you know, I just told myself before the match, I'm you know, gonna try to switch off as much as I can from what is happening around us, and just be there, be present. And I thought I could have played better, and you know, I just explained why. But at the same time, one thing that probably this, you know, allowed me to come back and save match points and win this match was the mental stability in those moments. And I guess that all of these things combined result, you know, in a courageous effort, as you mentioned it. But you know, there is not a specific formula to find the courage. I mean, at least from my perspective, you know, you can go all out and just, you know, close your eyes and just hit the ball as hard as you can, and then you can call that courage. But I you know, I wouldn't necessarily call it courage in some particular situation. So you need to be constantly playing well throughout 5 hours if you want to win the match like this. So, you know, I guess there is an endurance part, but you know, I think there's always this self-belief and you have to keep reminding yourself that you are there for a reason and that you are better than the other guy. And as hard as the moment, you know, is that you are in, you know, the more you have to remind yourself, the more you have to talk to yourself. I mean, that's, you know, that's at least in my case.
So you take that energy and do you block it out, or can you kind of repurpose it and channel it into yourself? Is it fun in a way to sort of, you know?
That's a good question, because you know, at times you just try to ignore it, which is quite hard. I like to you know, transmutate it in a way. So when the crowd is chanting Roger, I hear Novak. So that's. I know it sounds silly, but it is like that. I try to convince myself that it's like that. And
is that like a mental training, or is that something you're doing with?
Of course,
yeah.
of course.